Welcome to Olbia in Sardinia, where this morning we have the great pleasure of being on board this stunning Princess X95. Come aboard and let's have a look around. So this Princess X95 Torsa was delivered in July 2023 to its British owner in Mallorca. Now he was very, very involved in the design of the boat, very involved in all of the interior fit outs, in all of the technical elements of the boat. And furthermore, the captain on the boat had spent 6 years working with the shipyard. So you can imagine that the culmination of that team has brought about a yacht that is really quite extraordinary. This Princess X95, as you can see, is the 4-cabin configuration. The expanse in this area on the main deck is really quite incredible. It runs from 65 feet from the stern doors, the cockpit doors, going the whole way up to the window at the bow. It is unbelievable the amount of light and glass that is utilized in the boat. And that runs through to all of the spaces down below as well, because on this particular boat, it's the first X95 to have the full length hull windows. So it's opening up all of the light, bringing in all of the outside, and also adding to a lovely sleek aesthetic to the exterior, just elongating the look and the style of the hull. But back to in here, we've got a fantastic seating arrangement here. It's super social. We've added some depth into the sofas just to make everything a little bit more comfortable and luxurious. The owners have gone to as much detail as having custom-made rugs fitted into the walnut flooring. The detail is fantastic. It is going to be run, this boat, of course, with up to 8 guests. And the owners have decided on that basis that they'd like to keep this area pretty social, and they're dining outside. So we've got quite a small table here, which is lovely for coffees and looking at the views from the interior. And then over this side, of course, we've got all of the usual fixtures and fittings, including wine fridges, refrigeration for drinks. You've got an entrance to the lower accommodation, and we've got a glorious day heads just over to starboard. Just moving forward into the galley area, this was called the country kitchen when it was penned by Princess. And it really is giving the impression that you're in some sort of New York loft apartment. It is absolutely glorious. It is so sociable. Tons and tons of workspace, super storage everywhere. Refrigeration, as you would expect on an X95, is absolutely phenomenal, giving you loads of autonomy at sea, loads of days at sea without having to go in and refresh all of your shopping and getting all of your bits and pieces. As you would expect, you've got commercial grade cooking equipment, but moving back into the feel of the place, your interior dining is brought all the way up to the front of the main deck, all the way up to the bow. It's got this lovely seating area, a table that is very comfortably going to sit 8 or 10 guests. The light is again flooding into this area, and you've got a lovely bit of light from the bow area. So I'm going to bring you up to the very exciting Sky Lounge and show you all of the exterior spaces, which of course are massively important on this boat. But first of all, let's go and have a look at the lower accommodation. So the Princess X95, of course, is fitted with 4 cabins on the lower deck. The master cabin being aft and utilizing the full beam of the boat. So the master cabin is everything that you expect to see from Princess. There's floods of light coming in. It's absolutely beautiful. What you notice straight away is just the richness of the woodwork. All of the curvature, the soft finishes that you see. It is, the line and texture is absolutely gorgeous. It just covers you in luxury. Over on the starboard side, you've got a really nice dressing room, oodles of storage through this space. Through here we've got an ensuite with twin sinks, and the owner opted to go with a bath on the port side here. Again, it's just superb luxury. I can think of nothing better than spending a few months here. Let's go and have a look at the VIP cabin forward. So the wonderful thing about the hull form on the X95, it is a little bit different from everything else that Princess produce on the basis that it's semi-displacement, semi-planing. And so it brings the shoulders of the boat, the beam of the boat further forward, and it allows for this fantastic space up here. It's so broad, there's so much volume in this cabin. It really is quite something. Movement around the cabin is fantastic. There's storage, of course, it's got its own ensuite, its own dressing room. Nice clear head height here. Another feature is that there's no steps throughout this whole deck level. Everything is on one level floor. And that really feels different from anything else in the Princess fleet. Additionally, you've got two cabins, one to port, one to starboard, which have twins that are coming together to make doubles. Again, each of them en suite. It's beautiful, just beautiful. So the Princess X95, as with the X80, have a lovely, lovely feature in that they both have two saloons. Now we're up in the Sky Lounge, or the second saloon. And of course, if you're on board for a period of time with a full boat, being able to find that separation for all of the guests is really quite nice. So this is a fantastically comfortable saloon area. You've got vistas just everywhere. It is extraordinary. There's lovely continuity between the exterior and the interior. We'll have a look out there in a second. And also, of course, you've got the bridge area, which will close off with these sliding doors so that you can have that all-important separation between the crew and the guests on board. This is really true to Princess's current style in the bridge area. It's really nicely configured. The owner has really spared nothing in terms of the specification up here. He's got 3 MFDs, he's got twin bonning screens, everything is controlled from here, everything is visible from here, and it is so clean and tidy. And when those doors are closed and the crew are in here, it's very nicely contained, very nicely ventilated. You've got a side door here so that the crew can move around the boat without going through those guest areas. It's a lovely place to be, whether you're on watch or underway. It's really, really very comfortable, very spacious, and very practical. So, should we move to outside and have a look at the aft deck? So the X95 is not just about interior volume, it's also about exterior spaces. And this is probably the single most important area on the boat. The owners have configured this particular area to seat 8 guests on the basis that it's a 4-cabin boat. And they've also brought around this lovely exterior saloon style to the deck area, incorporating a bespoke designed and fitted television. It is just mind-blowing out here. The views, the space, the flow, it's absolutely gorgeous. Of course, all of this can be covered over with a sun awning to give you a little bit of shade if it's getting too warm. And all of the features that you might ordinarily expect to see in this area are here. We've got grills, we've got barbecues, we've got oodles of refrigeration. But the views are really what it's all about. Let's walk forward and have a look at the foredeck area on this flybridge deck. foredeck area on the flybridge, of course, is as important as any other boat. It is really, really a fantastic place to be when you're at anchor, because you're getting a little bit of breeze, or if you're in the marina, you get lovely privacy up here and a view over the marina and all of the boats, the activity. It gives you a nice feel for where you are. Just tucked down below here in the bow area, we've got a fantastic little seating area, which would just be lovely to sit down and read a book and get away from everything. You could really hide down there. Absolutely beautiful. Let's move down to the aft deck. Really comfortable walk-arounds on the Princess X95. It really feels like a super yacht. We're in the cockpit area now, and this is so supple, this space. I mean, of course, you've got this lovely continuity of flow going in and out of the boat because of these huge big doors here. But the way that we've configured this area is so that it is a lounge. It's a coffee space. It's got these extra deep seats, really for relaxing, taking it in, being involved in the social spaces that the interior offers. It really is quite vast and very, very comfortable. And of course, it's giving you the shade from the midday sunshine. So it's a lovely, lovely spot just to hang out and be close to the water, get all of the activities running towards the back of the boat. Speaking of activities, let's go down here and have a quick look at what the aft platform offers, because this is really extraordinary. I believe that this is one of the biggest transformer platforms that's available on a sub 100 foot yacht. It is absolutely massive, and of course it serves a whole load of purposes. Its primary purpose is to create space, on the water space, and it ties in absolutely beautiful with the beach club garage, which we'll show you in a few minutes. So this whole platform drops down into the water. The tender can drive over the platform, and the tender can be lifted the whole way up and over to recess into this area here. So it's really tidy in terms of using the tender, launching and recovering, but also, of course, it can be dropped down into the water so that you can swim from it. And you've got this beautiful stairway coming back onto your deck. It's just magnificent. Likewise, when we got onto the boat yesterday in berth, the platform was elevated up to the dock level and there wasn't any need for a passerelle. Instead, you had a beautiful set of stairs coming down onto the boat. It's really quite extraordinary. We'll open up this beach club section in a few minutes, but the beach club is also accessible for the crew to use as their crew mess. And if the full door isn't open, then of course the crew can use the pantographic door just to come in and to come out very easily. There's a number of options available on the Princess X95 model in terms of the way that the crew and the beach club balance each other. Torsa is currently run with a crew of 3. However, her crew accommodation is set out to 2 cabins, one being a bunk and the captain having a double berth with a Pullman overhead. So it's very comfortable for up to 5 crew. This way there's no compromise on the size of the beach club, which offers full comfort for the crew as a crew mess, or of course doubles up as a beach club for the guests. I've spoken with the crew on board this boat and they're absolutely delighted with the setup, and of course a happy crew is a happy boat. So when we were bringing the boat here to anchor, we were running at about 12.5 knots. That's about 1,200 revs per minute.
Yeah.
At that speed, given it's just takes under 14,000 litres of fuel, you can achieve almost 1,500 nautical miles of range with this boat. I mean, that's really quite extraordinary for a hull that can also push up to about 22, 23 knots. I think most people will probably run this boat somewhere between 12 and 16 knots. I think that's really where it's comfortable. And she sits so flat in the water. Super stable. Of course, she's fitted with vector fin stabilizers, which go a long way to help. She's fitted with twin 50 kilowatt generators, and in fact each one of them is more than enough to run almost everything on the boat at any one time, so there's loads of redundancy. She's got an upgraded watermaker which enables her to produce 340 litres per minute. And also, she's fitted with spot zero, so for the crew, running around the boat and cleaning those windows becomes an awful lot easier. The boat is in magnificent condition, and she's had all of her works carried through with extreme diligence. She's going to be based in the Western Mediterranean for the rest of this summer, and following which she'll go back to Mallorca for a little bit of winter time. So, if you'd like more information on Torsa, this wonderful Princess X95, please go to our website and have a look. We'll have updates on all of the pricing there, and you can see where the locations are. And of course, you can always pick up the phone and we'll be very happy to provide you with all of the information that you might need. Of course, we would like you to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel too. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.